been completely different. Every single thing and every step that I take has a strategical reason.
Whenever the conversation comes around about who are some of the most underrated players, there are two big names that always come up. And one of those names is Marvin Latimer from Big Brother 5. Now, unlike pretty much everyone else I have on this list, Marvin was actually in danger quite a lot throughout the season. He was looked at as a potential target from literally the very first week of the season, and that perception just never went away. He was nominated 4 times and was in danger of going home all 4 of those times. And he wasn't ever at the top of anyone's priority list. In fact, he rarely even had someone who considered him to be an actual ally. But Marvin still managed to make it all the way to 6th place, and that wasn't by accident. In my opinion, Marvin was the original magic trickster. He would come up with these outside-the-box strategies that were years ahead of its time, and surprisingly, they actually had legs most of the time. By the time of week 3, the game was shaping up to be a split house between the guys and the girls, and Marvin was the first to recognize that the guys should probably do something so as not to be super obvious about working together. So he started planting seeds to Drew, the HOH that week, to tell people he was thinking about nominating Marvin so as to hide the fact that they were working together. In fact, Marvin's situational awareness was usually pretty spot on, and he has numerous instances of confessionals where he would correctly point out when he needed to take a back seat and stay out of the big game business in order to progress through the season. One of Marvin's most noteworthy moments came in week 5. Once it was super obvious that the guys were going to lose the alliance war to the women, Marvin was the first to jump ship, and he was, for all intents and purposes, the one who came up with the idea of the backdoor plan. He volunteered to be on the block as a pawn to the HOH that week, Nokomis, in order to get Jace evicted, and the plan worked flawlessly. Now, even though I mentioned that Marvin failed to have anyone that was actually that loyal to him, he put in a really good effort to try and make people feel that they could trust him. He tried to form a 5-person guys alliance called the Santa Monica Van Boys in weeks 2 and 3. He had an actual, genuine bond that he formed with Will in week 6 that would have probably been really good for Marvin's game had the two of them not been on the block facing each other that round. He even had told both Drew and Diane that he wanted to go to the final 2 with them. And even though I don't think Marvin was actually being truthful in these instances, that makes me respect him more, because I have always been in the camp that forming as many final 2s as you can responsibly manage is good gameplay. Lastly, at the final 7, Marvin knew that the showmance of Drew and Diane needed to be split up. But rather than targeting them outright, he attempted to split them up from the inside out, forming this crazy plan where he would kiss Diane on the forehead in front of Drew's ally Cowboy, knowing that Cowboy would go and run this information to Drew and hopefully cause some emerging distrust between the couple. And it actually worked out nearly to a T. Unfortunately for Marvin, the distrust that arose from the situation wasn't actually enough to split up the couple, and Marvin was evicted the very next round for being too big of a strategist to allow to get any further. But the fact that Marvin even managed to make it to the final 6, given the perception of him throughout the entire season, is impressive enough in its own right. I think that if Marvin was just a little bit better socially, he would have had all the ingredients necessary in order to become one of the legitimate greats of Big Brother's earliest years.
You appeal to the hedonistic factor in people. When you can make them laugh, make them feel good, they feeling relaxed, and everything's got to go into plan right now.
Do this, just tell Nicole, put me up, as pawns,
right.
Okay?
That way 6 of us are playing for a veto
exactly.
that we can use.
We can use the veto, stick Jace up. Nothing he can do about it. Every now and then you got to be Rosa Parks. You got to be the back of the bus. Just be glad you're riding. So right now I'm in the back of the bus, but I'm still riding towards $500,000, daddy. It's pretty deep in the game right now, and I got to find a way to break up on Drew and Diane. If I can just place a little innocent kiss on her, and hopefully it'll get a little bit of trickle back to Drew.
Swore they kissed.
I've heard lately you've kissed him.
Who told you that? Marvin?
Hey, I'd like y'all to thank y'all that y'all unanimously voted out my girlfriend except for me. That was great.
Well,
appreciate that.
You should have stuck another vote on her ass.
Up next, we have a player that I personally slept on for like 95% of the time that I've been a Big Brother fan. Even when I did my deep dive on this player season, this player evaded my radar. And it wasn't until I went through and ranked every player in Big Brother history that it finally hit me how good of a player this person actually was.